Welcome everyone! This tutorial will show you how to create a lesson in Nearpod. If you're already a Nearpod member, then navigate to nearpod.com and sign in with your school's Google account. Otherwise, you will need to sign up for an account. This is a quick process, but remember to use your school's email address. The Ministry of Education has paid for a school subscription that unlocks all of the features available on the platform. So I'll log in. Now Nearpod is a useful digital tool designed to make lessons interactive. We can design our lessons using our own content, or we can modify and use existing lessons that are found in Nearpod. Let's create our first lesson. So I want you to navigate to the Create tab at the top and click on the Lessons tab or the Video tab to augment video, or the Activity tab to launch any of the Quick Start activities such as matching pairs, Time to Climb, which is a multiple choice quiz game, Draw It, or Drag and Drop. Let's augment a video. Let's go back to the Create tab, click on Video. The options at the top provide you with a library of videos from Nearpod. You can also access YouTube videos by simply entering the URL of the YouTube video that you wish to include. You can also upload one of your own videos from your computer, Google Drive, Dropbox, or even OneDrive. Now I've already added some videos from Nearpod to my own library, so I'm going to augment one of those. As you can see, there's some blue circles along the timeline of my video. This is where I've added questions to keep my students engaged as they watch the video. Let's add another question. I'm going to do that right at the top. So navigate to the Add Activity button, and we can select either an open-ended question or a multiple choice question. Let's select open-ended. I will do a wellness check for my students. How are you feeling? Remember to click Save, and you can see that question has been added right to the beginning. But you can add your questions at any point along the timeline. We can also trim videos by removing any unwanted content from either the front or the end of the video. The video can also be embedded into a lesson or used as a standalone activity. Let's embed it into a lesson. As you can see, we've been taken to the Nearpod screen where we can start creating our lessons. It says, "Welcome to the Lesson Builder." Here we can add slides, content, and additional activities to your lesson. You can either undo that or start editing. Let's click Start Editing. The name of my lesson corresponds to the name of my first slide. I'm going to change that by clicking in that area. I highlight the entire text and I will just change it to First Lesson. You can of course name it anything that you wish, but I will just be demonstrating the features, and we may or may not stick to just the Pythagorean theorem. Now teachers can upload files such as PNG, PowerPoint files, or PDFs, and you can upload them from your computer, Google Drive, Dropbox, or OneDrive. We can add content and activities to our Nearpod lesson by clicking the plus sign or the Add button, or right-clicking between slides and hitting Add New. Content slides allow teachers to convey information and to teach their students in several different ways. So we can add simple slides, PowerPoints, PDFs, images, and audio. And for the more interactive type of media, we can use BBC videos, Nearpod 3D, simulations from PhET, and virtual reality field trips. Let's add a slide. You can modify the slide using the slide themes on the site, or you can upload your own background. You can move along the tiles at the top, and of course you can get these 4 options. Virtual reality allows us to take our students anywhere in the world with a variety of images that we can add to our lessons. No headsets are required. They work on any device, and we can simply add any of the media from the thousands of virtual reality images included in the Nearpod library. I'm going to look for Pythagoras. Here's his house. And I will click Add. I can of course preview it first, but I'm just going to go ahead and save it to include in my lesson. This might be useful or interesting to students curious about where Pythagoras lived thousands of years ago. Even though this is a mathematics lesson, students can research the life of Pythagoras for a history class or write an essay for English. Now, it's not necessary to include all the options under content in each Nearpod lesson. You simply choose the most appropriate content to achieve the required learning objectives. Nearpod has a number of engaging activities that allow us to assess our students. For example, we can have quizzes and games, fill in the blank, drag and drop activities, and there are a number of math manipulatives such as algebra tiles and fraction tiles that have recently been added to the Nearpod suite of activities. There are also discussion activities such as the collaborate board, poll, or open-ended question. I'm going to use the collaborate board to ask my students a question. The collaborate board is an interactive tool for class discussions and brainstorming. We can post text and images, and also hide student names and pre-approve student posts and comments. Teachers can make changes to the design of the board. Simply click here on the right and we can change the board theme. Here's a Christmas theme and several others that you may choose from. I'm going to call this particular board Identify Pythagorean Triples. I can also change the layout to have columns. Let's look at my student options. Students can be given permission to see their names or edit their responses. Upload images, videos, GIFs, and also to record audio. I highly recommend pre-approving posts before sharing. Now let's see what our students will preview. Okay, so I'm going to type in my option 3, 4, 5, and then I'll have to approve this option. My students can also upload images or record their own audio as well. Let's exit. We can click on a slide and see the options to paste, copy, and delete that slide. Let's copy. And then I will paste the slide where I'd like. So say I want it between the Pythagoras theorem slide and the House of Pythagoras. Right-click between the two slides and select Paste, and you can see that it appears in that spot. Suppose I want to change my mind and remove that slide. Simply click on the slide and hit Delete. You're always going to be prompted, so make sure that you pay attention. Let's save and exit. Matching pairs is another activity that allows students to match text to images, text to text, and image to image. Teachers can add or import custom images from the Nearpod library, and you can use math as well as other subjects. I'm going to create my own. So tan is the same thing as tangent. I'll add another pair. Cos is the same thing as cosine. Okay, here's another pair. Let's preview to see what our students will view. I must select a pair, and my students will be able to see their progress in real time. So the pair cos and cosine is correct. However, the pair tan and Pythagoras theorem is incorrect. Students will have as many tries as necessary to get all right. Let's click Save. We can look at another activity here. So click on Add Content and Activities and go to Quizzes and Games. And we will use the Draw It feature. The Draw It activity allows students to respond and engage with materials using drawing tools. Teachers can add custom backgrounds and media or use pre-made Draw It activities from the Nearpod library. I'm going to upload my own image. Click Save. Click on the slide, then Preview. This is what my students will see. Now students can annotate the slide using the drawing tools. Click on the pen icon on the toolbar and adjust the font size of the pen and perhaps the ink color. I can write on the slide. I'll write another Pythagorean triple. The pen can be difficult to use with a mouse, so some students prefer to use the text function instead. Scroll to the bottom and click on the double T icon, and students can then enter their text here. Another option is for students to simply write all of their answers in the book and then upload a photo of their work. Let's exit. Another activity is drag and drop, which allows students to sort or order images and text. Navigate to add content and activities, select quizzes and games, and then select the drag and drop icon. I'm just going to use one of the pre-made activities for now, but you can create your own. I absolutely love the flexibility that Nearpod provides. Find the volume, we'll click Save, and then click Preview. Students can read the instructions in the dialog box. I'm just going to pull any one of them across to demonstrate the drag and drop feature. Alternatively, your students can use the drawing tools to annotate the slides as shown in the Draw It activity. Time to Climb is a gamification activity where students answer teacher-made questions. My students really love this activity, and we usually play it at the end or towards the end of a lesson. I'm simply going to add one of the Time to Climb options from the Nearpod library. This one has 8 questions, but remember, you can create your own. I'll click Save. Okay. In student mode, we will see participants racing towards the next level as they answer the questions correctly. I'm going to add one more activity, and that is going to be the discussion poll. I like to ask my students for their thoughts on the lesson and determine what was understood. I use this information to improve my future Nearpods. Here is the completed slide. Now we'll save and revert to our lesson builder page. Let's save and exit. And now we are ready to share our Nearpod with our students using either the live participation mode or student page. Live participation mode is suitable for face-to-face classes, while student pace mode is suitable as a revision tool and can be used to teach material asynchronously in an effort to reduce teaching time. Lessons can also be shared with other teachers by clicking these 3 dots. You can share that using email or social media. Alternatively, the Nearpod can be shared using a link or embedded into a website. There are 2 versions, a preview-only link or one that can be edited. Let's create a live participation Nearpod. As you can see, a code is going to be given. This code is going to allow us to share this Nearpod with our students. The great thing about Nearpod is that students are not required to have a Nearpod account in order to access it. They will simply go to join.nearpod.com and type in this code, and they will be able to access all of the material. Students will also be able to write their own notes. Now you can send this link to any teachers that you wish to collaborate with as well. Nearpod will often prompt you when you have a video embedded in one of these slides to determine whether the teacher plays it or the student plays it. This is a video. How should it play? It can either play only on the teacher's device or it can play on the student's device to allow them to do the questions at their own pace. Here is our video with the added questions that have been embedded. Nearpod has excellent reporting functionality. If students are logged in, I'll be able to see who selected the correct answers, view their progress, and then modify my assistance to meet their unique needs. Let's look at the teacher version. And here is the student version. This is a preview of the Time to Climb activity. We will be prompted to select a theme. My students get really excited about this part. We can try the carnival theme. Nearpod allows you to randomize the answers, pause the game between questions for discussion, and to play sound on all of the students' devices. I'm going to remove the sound, and I will click on Randomize Answers. We can pause the game between questions for discussion. Let's continue. The activity is not going to start until the teacher allows it to. It will only start when at least one player is connected. I'll log in as a student to show the student version of the lesson. I'm going to copy the code and join as a student using my personal email account. Click Enter and then wait. It's going to prompt me to enter my name. I usually ask my students to enter their full name. Students will view their teacher's current page. This restriction prevents students from navigating to other pages within the Nearpod. However, this feature can be adjusted in live participation mode. I want to return to the time to climb activity. Okay, so we decided that we're going to choose either beach or carnival. It does not matter. I'm going to randomize the answers, pause between answers, but I will not play the sound on all student devices. Let's continue. Students will choose their character. They normally enjoy this part, and then I will start the game. And this is a demonstration of the time to climb functionality. Teachers can also add activities during live participation mode. They can add a slide, web content, an open-ended question, draw it, or even a true or false type of poll question. This makes the lessons even more interactive and dynamic. So be sure to visit our website to view a complete and interactive Nearpod lesson. In the meantime, I encourage you to practice creating interactive Nearpods for your students. Remember to identify the learning objectives for your lessons and choose the most appropriate content and activities. Nearpod also allows you to get a report about your student progress, and that can be emailed to you or viewed in the browser. Go back to the Nearpod main page. Go to Reports. Click on the lesson, and you will see the data from that lesson. This greatly informs your teaching choices. You can either get an activity report or a student report. Nearpod provides more information about this on their website, so please feel free to explore. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and I hope that it has been helpful.